up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I know I've been away for a hot minute and I do apologize, but there's been a lot going on these last couple of months, and I'm about to go on a little ramble here, but I do want to kind of give you a little bit of an overview of everything that's kind of been happening and kind of just throw, certain things out there and give you the opportunity that if you want to know about anything, hear about anything, please comment down below and let me know, and I would love to put more content out, more videos out for you guys, and just answer just any questions that you guys have. So, from 2019, graduating boot camp, arriving as a non-rate at my first unit, I was at a small boat unit, to getting orders to go cross-country for the first time, getting to California at the start of the pandemic, graduating Operations Specialist A School, becoming a petty officer, getting orders to, again, go across country back to the East Coast, getting stationed on my very first cutter. I'm on a 270-foot cutter out of Portsmouth, Virginia, to getting my first apartment, to adjusting to a new state, being away from family, dealing with the pandemic, figuring out what I want to do in the Coast Guard, to further my career, applying for OCS, and just understanding my role as a petty officer, operations specialist, and just as a crew member for the cutter, getting qualified. There's been a lot going on. And with that, if you want to know more, have me put anything out there, if you have questions about anything that I've just said, please comment down below. I appreciate all the comments that you guys put out there, the questions. I try to get back to every single one of your questions, and just give you the best answer that I can. So yeah, comment, subscribe, like the video, and let's get into today's video. Alright, so I don't want to make this video too long, and hopefully it doesn't become a long video, but I kind of want to give you just a preview of arriving to the cutter and what's kind of been expected of me as a crew member, and just overall just adjusting to that kind of life, and getting underway for the first time. So with that, if, like I said, if you want to know more in depth anything that I'm about to talk about, just please comment below and let me know. All right, so I arrived and met my cutter back in July of 2020, and yeah, I met my cutter. They were coming back from patrol, and you basically kind of get right to work. As they're pulling in and whatnot, you meet your department, and they kind of lay out what's expected of you qualification wise and how long you have in order to achieve those qualifications. So I had to get basic and advanced damage control, gangway petty officer of the watch, and import security watch standard. So these four qualifications are kind of like your bread and butter to standing duty on the cutter. So what I mean by standing duty, so when the cutters import, there's always a portion of the crew that stays on the cutter all night, basically 24 hours standing watches, in order to make sure that nothing really just happens, nothing pops off on the boat, that we have enough people there to do initial actions just in case there's any fire, flooding, toxic gas leaks, anything that has to do with the integrity of the boat. You are there to help and try to stop it in a way to where we can get more assistance or whatever. So yeah, so kind of more of like an overview of the qualifications. Whatever unit you go to in the Coast Guard, you're going to be doing a PQS. That's what they're going to call it. You're going to be breaking in, and you're going to be studying and getting signatures on specific jobs that you need to understand in order to take a test or take a board, be it a written or an oral test, and then get qualified. So basic and advanced damage control, it is kind of what it sounds like. It's an understanding of the cutter in general, how it works, certain things that you can do to stop flooding, initial actions for fires, that happen in specific places. Toxic gas, just initial actions that you can do, and an understanding of those incidents or emergencies that could happen on the boat. You want to be able to, save yourself, save your shipmates, and on top of that, save the cutter. That's definitely important when you're out there in the middle of the ocean. So that's like your base of your qualifications. After that, you're going to need to get gangway petty officer of the watch. And the best and easiest way that I can put that, you're kind of like the gatekeeper for the cutter. So whether we're in home port here in Virginia or we're in a foreign port when we stop in other places, there will always be a gangway petty officer of the watch on duty. You stay in a 4-hour watch, and that could be 1 4-hour watch depending on how many people are in your duty section, or 2 4-hour watches. So like if you have a 12 in the morning to 4 in the morning watch, you'll have a 12 in the afternoon to 4 in the afternoon watch. And that's how it'll kind of go. You're in charge of making sure people check in and out, so you have accountability of who's on the boat and who's not on the boat. Visitors, there'll be a visitor's log, and you'll be the one that's in charge of kind of like the announcements on the 1MC. You talk through a phone, they can hear you throughout the whole boat, and you're kind of like the announcer, is kind of like the messenger for the cutter in a way. So if you need to get people to a certain area, the people on the cutter will be listening to you for those kind of directions. If there's an emergency, they'll be listening to the announcement you give for them to get to a specific area. If you need somebody to contact somebody else, you're the one kind of just putting all that information out for everyone to hear on the cutter. So yeah, that's kind of like an overview of that position. And then we have import security watchstander, which again, you can either stand 1 or 2 4-hour watches. And to me, this watch goes by a little bit quicker, but it is a little bit more tedious, for me at least, only because you are constantly walking the length of the boat, checking different spaces, gauges, temperatures, just to make sure different machines that are running are in the parameters that they need to be in. And if something happens, you notify the specific personnel that's in charge, and you go from there. So obviously that's like an overview, but getting to the cutter, you will be given a packet per each qualification, and you will basically study, answer questions, get information, and basically you would use that packet to study for your test at the end of it, once you get all your signatures that are required from you. And you'll take a test, you'll pass, and you're qualified, and you get to be put into a duty section, which means probably a better rotation schedule for you. And yeah, it'll make life a little bit more easier and simpler for you than having to study 24/7. You can just do your job. So those are the main 4 qualifications that you have to get. And so for me, as an operations specialist, I had to get a little bit more qualifications, being that I have an actual job on the cutter. So when we get underway is when you see, I guess, operations specialists kind of do more of their job. We're a part of operations, so we don't have a specific mission or operation happening. There's not really much that we're doing except for keeping up with our equipment, making sure that our equipment, like I said, is up to date, that there's proper crypto in it. We speak to the people that we want to speak to, be it our own boats, other assets like CBP and stuff like that are flying over us, helping us do certain missions. So that's kind of like the base of an operations specialist. There are a couple other qualifications that I needed to get. It was just an OS, a float packet, and a flight follower. And overall, it's just more of kind of like an introduction or understanding of what I'm going to be doing on a daily basis underway. For as being an OS, I can go from plotting on a chart to calling out positions, to talking to a helo, talking to any type of aircraft that's up above us, helping up with missions, talking to other boats, other cutters on the radio, talking through the computer, through people that are above us, so they are aware of what's happening in our specific areas. we kind of oversee the overall operation, and hence our name, operation specialist, of what's going on, you know, put information out. And so that's kind of more of like the overview of what's expected of me as an OS on the cutter. So yeah, again, I don't want to get too in depth right now. If you want to know a little bit more about that, please comment down below. If, again, anything, if you want to know, I mean, people that are starting out getting into the Coast Guard, if you want to know about that, the non-rate life, cutter versus a small boat station, I'll do my best to try to answer those kind of questions. But yeah, just being on a cutter, you're expected to get qualified. Really, any unit you go to, you're expected to get qualified in order for you to function as a member of your unit. And that's really it. You know, we're there, we're on the cutter. The cutter is our unit. You know, we get underway, we do our missions, we come back, we got to fix the cutter back up, get it to where it's mission capable again, and, you know, do the maintenance, everything that's required of it, and then get back underway. That's kind of just the way it kind of goes. So, you know, my first underway experience, we got underway, it was about like 58 days, and we came back. We're in port for about 2 months again, and then we'll leave again for another 2 months approximately, and kind of come back in. And that's kind of the way it is for people that are stationed on cutters. So yeah, please let me know if you want to know or hear about anything, and I'll do my best to put something else out there for you guys. All right, so thanks for watching. Bye.